Hey guys, Turk here. Hope you're having a great morning. We've been playing Doom Eternal ever since it launched at about 9 p.m. Pacific time last night, and we've been testing out a whole bunch of different hardware from low-end graphics cards to high-end graphics cards, but today we're going to answer the age-old question, will it 4K? Stick around, we got some surprises up our sleeves. So if you're wondering if your computer can even play Doom Eternal, you're in luck. There's a wide variety of hardware that this game can play on. On the low end, you're looking at something like a Ryzen 3 1200 with a 1050 Ti, and you can scale it up as high as you want to go. But if you're wanting to play Ultra Nightmare, that's where it's going to start to cost you. They're wanting an i9 9900K processor with an RTX 2080 Ti. I don't have $1,600 just stashed away in my pockets. I do have an ace up my sleeve, and that's called Shadow. We've talked about it on the stream a lot, and we've actually posted a couple videos onto the YouTube about it. Shadow's a streaming service where you get access to dedicated hardware in their data center, and they stream your gameplay to any device that can run their Shadow app. It's cell phones, laptops, desktop computers. If it runs the Shadow app, it can stream their games, and that's the great thing. They're your games. You're not paying Google Stadia $60 to just rent the game. You get the copy of the game. You can play it on anything that you want, and you can play any platforms on Shadow. You can play Origin, Steam, Battle.net. All that's available and ready to go. And they actually have some pretty good hardware, too. We'll talk more about it later in the video. But we've been stalling enough. Let's go play some 4K Doom. So we're going to start a brand new campaign, and we're going to bump the difficulty up to Hurt Me Plenty. And as this is loading, let's talk about what we're seeing on the screens. Up at the top right, we've got our frame counters. These are built into the Doom platform, and that's going to show us the immediate frame rate as well as some of the average min and max for the frame times that we're seeing. Right now, we are playing at native 4K, and we've got some other details of what drivers and stuff we're playing. So this is just the intro sequence to the brand new Doom gameplay. If you're wanting no spoilers, you know, hit the mute button or skip ahead to the end. Look at the detail. You can see the asteroids. You can see the little shading effects on it. That's crazy. So this is the Doom Slayer's little home base that's floating around the Earth, and it allows you to fast travel. We haven't gotten far enough in the game to actually do that yet.
Attempting to acquire the Hell Priest signal.
Nearly 60% of our planet.
All right, let's get our guns out. We're going to go and save some humans.
The target is marked, but the signal will not hold for long.
You can see the details in his glove and in his little sword there. Look at that helmet. You can see all the texture and differences. Right now, we're streaming Shadow at 70 megabits per second. You can scale Shadow's resolutions and bit rates as much as you want, but for now, we've got maximum settings coming out of Shadow, and our frame times have been really good. I think we're only seeing about 10 milliseconds of ping from Shadow, so the gameplay should be pretty good. Here we go. That gives me goosebumps every single time. All right, here we are in the intro area. We've got our shotgun. And you'll notice that I'm shooting left and right quite a bit. This is a, artifact of the streaming service itself. It's not completely fluid just due to pumping out so much frames, but you'll see up at the top right, we're actually running right at 60 frames per second. And again, this is ultra detail settings, so we're pushing as much as we can. And look at that, you can see the grain in the wood. You can also see the, when you get a chance, you can actually see the details of the zombies' heads. So this is crazy. Oh yeah, you can see the detail in the chainsaw. And even here, we're seeing around 60 frames per second. So it's not like the details and the textures in the world are causing the hurt. It's really just the engine itself. All right, here we go. This is the first arena fight. And let's just see how the frames per second stacks up. We're going to have this zoomed in at the top right of the screen so y'all can get a good comparison. But right now, we're still right at 60 frames per second. God, look at that detail. You can see the rust in the metals as well as the grains in the wood. And then if we get, if we actually get to see a zombie or anything, you can see the details in their skin. So playing at native 4K, even streamed from Shadow, is quite remarkable. I imagine if you turn the bit rates down a bit, it wouldn't be as good of looking. But it's still, we're running at 4K 60 frames per second. You gotta give this P5000 graphics card some credit. We are running the latest game-ready drivers. We're starting to adapt to some of the latency that we've been getting through the gameplay here, and we're starting to get some really good shots. We're on our way to the next spot, which is going to be an open world, and this is where our benchmarks really start to open up. Timeout, disclaimer. I am not sponsored by Shadow. I earn no money from these guys. They haven't paid me for anything, and I get no affiliate links with this program. This tech is just awesome, and I'm just amazed at how well it's playing Doom Eternal so far. If you got Google Stadia, return that stuff, get rid of it, go get yourself some Shadow. Back to the gameplay. Look at that. This is our first look at an open world. Again, we're still streaming right at around 60, 70 frames per second, so we're still chugging pretty good. And just look at this detail. We can see far distant detail. We can see that Coca Demon up there. Everything is pristine, and this is all streamed off of another computer on a data center far off in the distance. I think it's up in Dallas. So we're going to be cutting a lot of this up. We're not going to really play a continuous playthrough. If you're looking for that kind of stuff, make sure you stop by our channel, twitch.tv/theturk. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of benchmarking where we're playing this game at different processors, different graphics cards, and we're going to kind of hopefully see if we can get a sweet spot when it comes to a budget PC build. So make sure you stick around to the YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so you can get updated when when that video uploads. I've got to say, one of the biggest challenges for me in this game is just the amount of ammunition we get. We burn through our little assault rifle here. We burn through that ammo so fast, and you only get 16 shots of the shotgun right out of the gate, so you definitely have to rely on that chainsaw quite a bit in this early game. And you've got to constantly be moving in order to find that extra ammo. You know, right here when we're fighting this... I forget the name of the monster, but the little brain skeleton thingy, you know, we're constantly having to run around trying to find more drops. That's probably the biggest challenge I saw. And there we go. We have our first death. RIP. All right, we're still streaming right around 60, 70 frames per second, so I think we're pretty solid here. This game is pretty playable at 4K, even if it's on the Shadow surface. So if you're wondering what that watermark is at the top of the screen, that is the shadow overlay. If you press a specific keybind, you can actually open up the settings and where you can dial back the resolution of the monitor as well as the bitrate settings of the stream. And that gives you full control of your shadow experience. And also that overlay helps you know that you're inside of your shadow desktop as opposed to your regular desktop, so you don't get confused. So guys, what do you think? Can we play Doom Eternal at 4K ultra settings through Shadow? I think the answer is yes. We had a great visual experience. The gameplay was fantastic. We did have to deal with the latency issues, but that's just inherent with any streaming platform. But I don't think it was that big of a deal. We were able to play at normal difficulty settings. Let's be honest, I suck at the game. I died a few times, but that's not really on Shadow. That's on me. So I think this was a great experience. Tell me down below in the comments what you think. We've got more Doom Eternal content coming to the channel. We've got a whole bunch of graphics cards to throw at this game, as well as a Shadow review where we go over the hardware that Shadow plays, as well as comparing it to some regular old desktop hardware. So thank you guys for watching this channel. I don't know what time it is. I think it's time to get coffee, or should I go to bed?